Welcome everyone to the Guinness Girls' favourite football podcast, the Only Fans Football Podcast. On this week's podcast, Adzi rants about the current shambles state of Manchester United. Cran explains why pepperoni and jalapenos are the perfect pizza toppings for any man, woman or dog. The lads chat about Leeds United playing in Talca Park and the current situation in the O'Higgins region of Chile. We hope you enjoy the podcast wherever you're listening, and be sure to follow our Instagram, Spotify, YouTube and Twitter and TikTok. Take it easy.
My spidey senses tell me this is gonna get fucking tasty, baby.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
There's a slice of cheese, Minigo Giantopolis.
I have a dream.
Donny, cut!
Battler.
The fella in the green and white shirt.
The guys up in the joy have asked to be put back in their cells.
If you stop waffling, we might get some work done.
He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
Get out! Get out, Man United!
Virigi! Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Shane Long has done it!
Let me add a little bit of spice to that.
Is he a fucking spice?
My grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
I think I'm a special one.
I'm the normal one.
I never knew Stoke were that good.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of the Only Fans Football Podcast. We're back.
We're back, baby. Back in studio
250.
And
Adzi, while I was clearing this place up this morning, because I needed to prepare for the special guest himself, Adzi. While I was cleaning up, I was actually playing The Boys Are Back in Town.
Okay, you were hyped.
Yeah, the bit of, what would you call it? A bit of tonal energy.
Yeah,
from that song.
So now you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Early kick-off this morning in Costa del 250. Shout out to our newest follower, Bacon Brew. We sourced our coffee there this morning. The best coffee in all of Cabra. Ollie's at the wheel, man. We're not, that meme's dead now, you know what I mean? He's doing his thing. Oh, real.
I can just tell all the United fans won't be listening to this podcast because they know what you're gonna do.
I said to Jer, I was like, I'll make sure to timestamp it for you, Jer, so you know when we're not talking about United. Well, it's the biggest talking point of football at the minute. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard not to. But how was your weekend, anyways? Apart from that.
Well, Friday, I was out and about in the Olympia.
You're at a concert, aren't you?
I was watching Kojak.
Cabra's native. But
yeah, it was a good night all the same. Actually, when the concert finished, I ended up going to P-Max on Camden Street, I think it is. We were walking around at 12:30. Nothing was open. McDonald's wasn't open.
What?
Burger King wasn't open. We were like, what the fuck? Like, why can't I get food anywhere? It's town.
We got the good week out than last week, man.
Yeah.
Because that was when things were out properly.
Yeah, I know, and we ended up walking down to D Fontaine's.
Good pizza.
Of course, I was at the perfect level of drunk where you just get overconfident.
Nice.
And the security guard was passing people through, and I was sort of like, "Here, what's your favourite slice of pizza?" I asked the security guard that. He was like, "I like pepperoni with a bit of jalapenos."
Nice.
Ended up I was like, "That's a great show." I ended up getting pepperoni and jalapenos on my pizza, right?
Yeah.
And I walked out and I showed him it, and I was like, I got it, and he was like, yeah, move along, mate, whatever.
Get out, yeah. I couldn't care less, like, yeah.
So I just ended up going home. I ate the slice of pizza, it was lovely. Shout out to Stephen Tracy, who I met on the night out walking to D Fontaine's. He's one of my mates, or mutual friends, sorry.
Hey, friend!
Mutual friend, mutual football friend. He was a mutual football friend because he actually said, I'm enjoying the podcast. And I was like, what?
You didn't know he was listening?
You listen to the podcast? Nice. I was like, wow.
Nice.
And yeah, shout out to him. Anyway.
Actually, I'll give another shout out as well, actually, while we're doing it. Jay Rowe gave us a text as well the other week saying he was loving the podcast. It's nice because we went to school with Jay, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get feedback on it. We really do appreciate it. And anyone who texts us and says they're enjoying it or shares it or likes the post.
Anyway, how was your week?
Oh, grand, same old crowd in the life of me. Yeah, no, good week. I was actually working past few nights as well, but I was out on Friday myself in the Bald Eagle of Hillsborough. Lovely spot. And I don't want to... Look, I have a lot of friends listen to this, and I'm sincerely sorry for what I'm about to say, but I wasn't drinking Guinness. I was drinking Island's Edge.
Oh, no.
I know.
You're not my friend.
If the Guinness Guru was listening, man, he'd be going mad. Colsey wouldn't be happy.
Colsey, yeah. Shout out to Colsey.
But yeah, I was drinking Island's Edge because the Guinness I had was a bit ropey. So I said, fuck it, I'll try a different stout.
It wasn't tasty, was it?
No, it was just a bit.
Guinness.
It wasn't creamy. Like, there wasn't any stick on it. It didn't. You know what I mean?
And there wasn't any tang or anything.
There was a twang on it. That's
there was
the problem.
a twang, alright.
So that's why the Guinness wasn't nice. But
and did you start sort of checking for the stick and all that?
Yeah, there was no stick on it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, I literally followed all his videos. So I had an Island's Edge instead, and it was a creamy alternative. But what I will say is, a good point of Island's Edge is probably still not as good as a bad point of Guinness. So I've learned my lesson. And then I was back on home turf on Saturday night in me Maz, the best spot in Dublin, as we all know. But yeah, good crack the weekend. Watched the football, was in work last night, so just chilled out. And look, we have a lot to cover in today's episode. We talked about there like no more than 2 minutes ago about United fans not tuning in. We have to review the games, don't we? So we're going to start off with the big talking point nowadays. Like we did last week when West Ham beat Liverpool, we have to start off with Watford beating Manchester United. And more so the bigger news of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting the... Did he leave or was he sacked? I think he was sacked.
I think it was mutual.
Mutual? Oh, okay. So he was sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I know you're going to talk about Kenny Cunningham now, but I was trying to find the match on Saturday for so long on the... I'm not going to say Fire Stick because I'm probably not supposed to, but on the Fire Stick. And it just wouldn't work for me at any station I tried, so it was kind of like fate telling me not to watch because I think they knew I'd have too much of a good time. So I didn't actually see it. I see bits of it, and I watched that match of the day that night. But bloody hell, man. How poor were United?
Very.
How poor. Before we get on to Ollie, how poor was that United performance?
I mean, I watched the whole thing from start to finish, and it didn't look like any of the players were putting a shred of effort in to save the man's job. You know what I mean?
I think one of the things that struck me was at the end of the game, David De Gea literally went, we don't know how to attack, and we don't know how to defend. And it's kind of like De Gea has been great this season as well. Like, he's kept them in games, and it's like, if he's saying that, it's kind of like he's at the end of his tether, and he's like, no one else has fucking helped me, and I'm trying my best, but no one else is doing anything. So
yeah, no. The first of all, the penalty. Fernandes hoops the ball in the air, and I think it's McTominay takes down Sarr in the box. Yeah. But a stupid suicide ball from Fernandes caused that penalty instant. Yeah. And then obviously Sarr steps up, misses. De Gea saves, and then encroaching is called, taken again.
Well, I thought that was a bit of bad refereeing, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know how he can give how the penalty was retaken if a Watford player was the player that like fell. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's typical John Moss. You know what I mean? Not wanting to run. Like, he wasted 6 minutes there and then. He did. Shout out to Jared because Jared hates him. The fella does want to run. You know what I mean? So that's like, you could see he was out of breath 9 minutes in. Now, I'm not fit myself, but he's a Premier League referee. Like, he should be at a higher standard. Yeah, I thought it was poor officiating, but not for the first time from Moss. But what I will say Moss ball. What I will say is Watford were immense, and I did see bits of it from the start. Watford were immense, and I thought from the minute the first whistle blew that they were gonna win. There was no point at the start of that game where I was like, I think United win this. I was just so confident in the ability of the likes of Sarr, the likes of Hernandez, who I think came on, Dennis, Joshua King. They just look better.
United were 2-0 down at half time. I was looking at the punditry from Kenny Cunningham, who was an absolute spoofer, by the way. Like, I'm just calling him out right here, right now. He is the biggest spoofer. I don't know how he has a job. He goes, I take Ronaldo off and Fernandes off the pitch at 2-0 down at half time. 2 minutes later, right, Ronaldo assists a goal for Donny van de Beek. Gary Breen at one stage, I don't know if you know.
I don't like listening to Gary Breen. I said that before in the podcast.
Fucking terrible commentary.
It's like pulling teeth.
At one stage, Ronaldo got decked, okay, and he says Ronaldo got nephewed And I was sort of like, what is that? Some weird London slang. Like, what's going on here?
Premier Sports has never covered Seven Glory. They had Kevin Doyle on the weekend as well, and God bless Kevin, like, he done well for Ireland, whatever. It's just, they're just hard to listen to, like, the rest of the game. Like, I have stuff written here about Maguire. So Maguire scored against Albania last week and ran to the corner, cupping his ears. Cupping his ears, as to say, Roy Keane, are you listening? Like, I mean, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That isn't, like, for a player of his, and he has got talent. He's not worth 80 million. You know what I mean? But he has got talent. And to kind of, like, for me, anyways, running to the corner after scoring against fucking Albania and cupping your ears shows me that he can't take criticism. He can't. And for every Premier League footballer, for every professional, you have to. That's the be all and end all of it, you know? And then he gets sent off. And I mean, what is he thinking? That's like, we could talk about United here, right? And the problem with United is there's no plan, there's no vision. Like, Harry Maguire is the captain of the club, and he's getting sent off against Watford a week after cupping his ears, scoring a goal against Albania.
And throwing the armband away.
And it's like,
that's something Shaka did.
There's just so many problems with them. And like, we'll talk about Ollie in a minute, but Carrick's still there. They're giving Carrick the job. And I don't care about United, I don't. But what's annoying me is the way the club's run is they're giving Michael Carrick the job.
Yeah.
He was there with Mourinho. He was there with Ollie. Like, is there not a common denominator here of he's not good enough? So why the fuck is he getting the job? Like, I mean, I'm quite happy for him. I'm quite happy to see this, like, right on. But this is it's despicable. Like, if I was a United fan, I'd be pulling my hair out. It's shocking. Like, sorry, go on.
Yeah, Carrick as well. It's sort of like it could go around in a cycle as well. You had Ollie as interim when I think it was Mourinho got sacked. You bring in Carrick in when Ollie's got sacked. What if Carrick gets the job? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
it's like,
it goes round and round and round.
Well, this is the thing. Like, it's like they're replacing Ollie with Ollie, more or less. You know what I mean? It's like, thanks, Ollie. Welcome, Ollie 2.0. You know what I mean? What I will say is, I was looking at Sky before the sport. It was a Sport City on Everton match yesterday, and they had Robbie Keane, Jamie Redknapp, and Mika Richards on. And they were talking about potential replacements for Ollie. And one name that came up, and I do hope it happens, I do, was Steve Bruce. They're talking about Steve Bruce. Come on now. That is
Who brought that up?
I think it was Neville, actually. And Neville, actually, by the way, Gary Neville, so he's asked a question, right? Dave Jones is actually very good. He goes, was it the right time to get rid of Ollie? And instead of going yes or no, he goes, well, that's irrelevant, Dave. And it's like, that was a horrible Gary Neville accent, by the way, but he was like, that's irrelevant, Dave. And it's like, now, hold on, answer the question.
Yeah.
Like, you give out about Boris Johnson all the time and he dodges questions. You're doing the same thing to save your mates back. You know what I mean? It's all a circus, like, you know what I mean? From the bottom, from the Glazers to Carrick getting the job to Maguire being captain. Like, how are they letting the club be in? I think it's great. And it probably sounds like being frustrated. I don't really care that much, but I think it's hilarious, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to one of the lads yesterday and he was saying the season's a write-off. It's the 22nd of November. They're with the League Cup. They're not going to win Champions League. They won't win the Premier League. This is one of the biggest clubs ever for association football. And he's saying, no, 3 months into a season, that's a write-off. Come on now. That's not right. That's not right for anyone.
No.
You know what I mean? To be that hopeless. But what I will say is, to kind of wrap this up, what a poetic end to Ollie's reign. What a poetic end for Donny van de Beek to get the goal. His last goal in Ollie's reign was Donny van de Beek, a player who he neglected. It was a tough job and he done a lot of good for United. They didn't win anything. Haha. To neglect a player like Donny van de Beek and now Sancho the way he has, it was like he was hopeless, you know. I'm delighted.
The writing's on the wall.
So bye Mr. Mary. I'm not gonna sing it. Shout out to Tyson Fury as well because he's a United supporter.
Oh yeah, and his talk with Eric Cantona clearly didn't work. He was like, I'm coming over and I'm going to have a chat with you with Eric. Next week, you better be ready. The Gypsy King is in town, you dosses.
Oh, God. Oh, we do far too many accents in this, you know that?
It didn't work though, did it?
No, thankfully.
Half 12 kickoff.
Yeah, that's yourself.
That's me, yep. Chelsea versus Leicester. Leicester at home, Chelsea away. And this one ended 3-0. A 3-0 defeat for Leicester, might I add. And it was a great performance. It was dominant from minute one, really. Rudiger gets the goal. The first goal, 1-0. A beautiful backwards header from the corner. I think it's Chilwell who swings in the corner. He's been playing brilliantly this season.
Would you say Rudiger's Chelsea's best defender? On current form?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he's the most reliable. Thiago Silva is probably more likely to stay than Rudiger at the moment. Rudiger is...
there's a bit of talks of leaving, isn't
He's
there?
on his way out, yeah.
To be fair, he's coming into form now, but there was a long time there where you couldn't rely on him. Like, where he was very poor for a lot of it. Was it under Sarri? He wasn't great.
Lampard as well.
Lampard, so... Like, I mean, it's all well and good coming good now, but if you're Roman Abramovich and you're giving out a contract, like, the bad kind of outweighs the good in the way. Now, he's playing out of skin at the minute, to be fair, but... Yeah,
I think we have a lot of strength in those areas as well. It wouldn't be the biggest loss.
Christensen for me is unbelievable.
Anyway, the second goal goes in. Kante, what a goal! What a goal! He makes a run, reach James, puts a pass in the middle of the park, and Kante just sprints, left footed finish. Not savable for Schmeichel. It was a brilliant finish by the little man himself. But good goal from Kante, and then the final goal. N'Golo Kante. The final goal is created by Hakim Ziyech, who has been a ghost for the last 6 to 9 months. He's been pretty bad. He came on, he was pretty good actually. I think it was a Cruyff turn in the box.
Yeah.
A scintillating Cruyff turn. And passes it in to Pulisic, who finishes through the keeper's legs.
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah, here to save the motherfucking world, yeah. Sorry.
It was great play by Ziyech. I was looking at it on Saturday morning, and it was a lovely bit of play by him, man. It's a great pass, and I think he's been a bit underutilised, but I think he hasn't been fully fit for most of the part.
Chelsea top of the league, by the way, by 3 points.
Yeah, true.
Just thought I'd get that in there.
You have to. I'm gonna kick off with an Norwich win against Southampton, 2-1,
Yes.
and that's 2 wins on the trot for Norwich. And I'm thinking here, how many Premier League teams have won 2 games in a row with 2 different managers? Be a good question, wouldn't it? That'd be something Jerry Cullen would ask, wouldn't it, after a few games? Jerry would be like, name one team, and he'd be like, Jerry, shut up, will you? you're wrecking my mind, man. No, we love Jerry. We love his little teasers. But yeah, it'd be hard to come by, wouldn't it? A team that's won 2 games on trot with 2 different managers. Yeah. I'm sure there's probably loads of them.
I definitely think Chelsea managers would be up there somewhere.
Yeah, very good point. But yeah, I have a few notes written here. I have Hassan Hill's Shih Tzu. Like, what is he doing? I'm delighted now he lost. Imagine turning up to Norwich. What's Norwich ground called again? Carrow Road. Turning up to Carrow Road in a suit. Mate, the church is down there. There's no wedding on here today. Like, get lost, will you?
We thought waistcoats were bad, and now he's wearing a fucking suit.
True. And poor Dino Smith now. Fair play to him. It was a good result for them on the weekend. But he went with the Brexit back 4 of Northern Ireland, Scotland, England. Aaron's at right back. Hanley back in. Gibson of England. And Williams as well, Man United player on loan. So he went with a full Brexit back 4, and they done well. Like, I mean, they stood firm. They were much better than what they usually have. I'm really disappointed Ozan Kabak wasn't playing though. His time in Liverpool was thankfully short-lived. But he seems like a decent bloke, and he seemed really upset when they didn't renew his loan, and I kind of felt bad for him. And ever since then, but like when he went to Norwich, I was genuinely happy for him. But he's done absolutely zero, which is to be expected. But Gilmore and Cantwell back in as well, so it's no surprise Norwich were playing a bit better. Like, we've seen Billy Gilmore, we've talked about Billy before in this podcast. He's very good. He comes in, he runs the game, to be fair, and it's no surprise that, like, who was it, Daniel Farke loses his job by not playing a good player, and he comes out and says, we're not here to play loan players. It's like, this is your function. if you get someone on loan, you have to play them. You know what I mean? You're developing
and
someone
not to
else's
mention
players.
a talented player like that.
Yeah.
It's not like he's playing, I don't know, Andy Carroll on loan
Yeah.
or something. He's playing Billy Gilmore.
And Cantwell as well is very good coming back in. So yeah, look at 2 talented young players. You know, you'd expect Norwich to be playing a bit better. Just touch on Southampton for a second. Che Adams and Adam Armstrong linking up very well again. I think 2 very good players. Che Adams scored for Scotland during the week as well in a crucial game, and he got a lovely little goal here. And before we move on, McCarthy was so bad for both Norwich's goals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Norwich were with a much better side, but they were definitely helped by McCarthy. I'd say he had a 5 on them to win, because the first goal he's been at the near post so easily, and then the second goal was the header. I think it was Hanley that scored it, and it's just so it's hard to explain, because Hanley heads it down into the ground for it to bounce off the ground and in, but McCarthy has it covered, and it's just as if he just jumps on the ground, just lets it go past him. It's so poor. Yeah, but good results.
First goal in 10 years, by the way, by Hanley.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard that's
what's
that.
that?
For Blackburn, he's last scored.
I say Steve Keane was the manager back then. Do you remember Steve Keane, the baldy head? The Venkies were the owners at the time. There was chickens on the pitch and all. Premier League is great, man. But yeah, Dealey on the point of wine, I'd say.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
say she had a good weekend.
It wasn't with who were we saying? Dealey was
Sam
gonna be?
Allardyce.
Sam Allardyce. No.
Sam Allardyce genuinely drinks pints of red wine. I told you that the other week, and I think you thought I was messing, but he genuinely drinks pints of red wine. He's a sick animal. Hopefully, hopefully he makes a return to the Premier League. I'd love. Imagine he got the United job. I'd love it. I would love it. Next 3 o'clock, Cran. By the way, some cracking games at 3 o'clock. There was 2 3-alls.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, start with Burnley Palace. What a game of football. I was watching this on the box yesterday, and I was just thinking, another scintillating game at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
And Sean Dyche's Burnley.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
How much impact has Cornet had? Even, excuse my grammatical error. How much impact has he had that they're becoming a saucy team?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Sauce ballers. But first goal goes in by Christian Benteke.
Benteke.
What a goal, by the way. Through the legs of the defender.
Yeah.
And then he does his typical knee celebration.
Yeah.
Then Ben Mee scores a header. In typical Burnley fashion, set piece. If it's going to be a 3-all with Burnley, it's going to be 3 set pieces.
Yeah.
And Ben Mee scores a header. And then Chris Wood, again from a set piece, scores a kind of shit header.
Surprise.
It floats through his head, and it's almost like the goal went in slow motion. He just sort of...
Yeah, I thought goalkeeper was quite poor for that goal as well, actually.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
It was like, that's gone in slow motion.
Yeah.
He didn't react at all.
Guy to move the slow motion. That was the problem.
Yeah. So Chris Wood is 50th goal in the Premier League.
It's a good goal, isn't
Chris Wood, yeah.
A mate of mine, we talked to him last week when we were talking about the Bake Off. He has a picture. I'll get him to send that up on the post. He has a picture of Chris Wood in Talca Park. Leeds were playing shells. They're friendly. He's gonna love that now. I said that.
No way.
Yeah, he does. I swear to God.
With Chris Wood.
Yeah. Oh, he's gas.
So Christian Benteke scores again, and what a Cruyff turn by Conor Gallagher.
Gallagher, man, he's been immense.
What player!
So good.
I can't wait to get him back at Chelsea.
Him and Gilmore could come good now.
Yeah, and Benteke's finish was great as well.
Yeah, it was.
Low and hard into the bottom right corner.
I thought Pope was very good. Pope was very poor. He was it's an early morning. Folks,
he's not a pious Pope. He's a shit Pope. Shout out to the Vatican.
I know you're listening.
Fuck's sake. A really bad third goal for Palace. I was looking at this thinking, what the fuck? Burnley have 7 players on the line, and Guehi just boots the
How
thing.
How did he score like? They had half the team on the line. He still scored like, and they're all huge. They're all big men like, and he still scored.
Big bucks like.
Yeah.
Maxwell Cornet, the final goal.
What a goal!
What a finish!
Yeah, it was lovely.
He plucks it out of the sky and just boots the thing.
Yeah.
Contender for goal of the week.
Yeah, it's actually my goal. Well, there's another goal that we'll speak of in a minute, but yeah, I think it's my goal of the week.
3-all.
Yeah. Great game. And great result for Burnley as well, I think. Actually, sorry, great result for Palace because going to Burnley is a tough place. That's the point I was going to make. Burnley make Turf Moor a fortress for the most part. And look at Palace. I think it's a good result for Palace. They probably feel they should have won. They could have come away with more. But they didn't. And Cornet, unbelievable, yeah. We'll move on to the other trio.
The other trio, yeah. Newcastle
and Brentford. Wow, what a game, man. I was looking at a bit of Gillette Soccer Saturday. Tim Sherwood and the boys now. Used to be Jeff Stelling and Paul Merson and the good lads, but now it's Tim Sherwood.
How the mighty have fallen.
And Jeff is leaving at the end of the season as well.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's not gonna be worth the wet tissue now. You know that. Anyways, Joe Linton, man of the match performance. How is he? How literally? Anyhow, how has he turned this around? Joe Linton was unbelievable here in that game. Big fan of his finish and it was a good goal. And the game was popping off. Like it was an intense game. Like Newcastle had 20 shots in the game. That's unheard of for Newcastle. Fair enough, they still can't defend, but they were doing really well going forward. I was delighted for Ivan Toney getting a goal and kissing his badge, the Brentford badge.
Wow. Because
he played 2 games in 5 years for Newcastle, and now he's going back to them like, look at me now, I'm the big dog. So yeah, he was very good. And then Saint Maxim, what a player! And you know what? He actually genuinely loves Newcastle, which is what I'm a big fan of that, because Saint Maxim could probably play for any team in the league. Like he is that good.
Yeah.
And he loves Newcastle. He said it before in interviews. He felt bad when Bruce left because Bruce gave him the chance. But he's such a saucy player. Like even for Joe Linton's goal, he does a little flick to get by his man, and it's like you don't see enough of that. You know what I mean? He's just so good. He's so easy on the eye. Flair. Ric Flair. Woo! But yeah, and then the worst thing about the game was at the end of it. I think it was on Match of the Day. I think it was when Saint Maxim scored, and this is why I said it a second ago. But your man goes, "How about that?"
Yeah.
And he's like, Eddie Howe's Newcastle. It's like, he's not even here, mate. He's at home with COVID. He can't taste his dinner. What are you on about? He's not here. And it's a good performance from Newcastle in the sense that like they actually scored a goal instead of being there to watch and not doing anything. So I would say the Newcastle fans are fairly optimistic now as well going forward with Eddie Howe, because Eddie Howe's a good manager. We've known that for a long time. He took a break for a while after getting sacked from Bournemouth after relegating them, and he's back.
Well, he won't be back for 2 weeks.
True.
Quarantine, baby. Steve Gerrard. He's big and he slips on his fucking ass. Aston Villa 2, Brighton 0 point. Potterball falls. I have here. It fell again. I said that last week. It's fallen again.
I think we're being a bit blinded by Potterball, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Potterball mightn't be worth the hype.
No.
A 2-0 win for Villa at home.
Yeah.
Great goal by Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
By the way. And also, I think it was at the end, Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
What a finish.
Yeah, I thought it was a great finish.
It comes at him so quick and he just boots it.
I'll tell you how good this goal was, right? I was watching Match of the Day and my ma walked in when this match was on. And my ma goes, and like she wouldn't really know much about football, but she goes, Jesus, that was a great goal, wasn't it? And I was like, yeah, you're fucking dead right, it was a good goal. So yeah, good finish by Mings. I don't think Villa were in that bad of a position with Smith, to be honest.
No, they
I think he was probably a bit harsh done by, but I'm happy to see Gerrard out of Rangers anyways. Is there any more 3 o'clockers?
Yeah, one more. West Ham
Wolves.
lose to Wolves. And it is a goal by Raul Jimenez. What a goal. Again, comes to him at the edge of the box and he wellies the thing into the bottom left hand corner.
Yeah.
What a goal. 1-0 win for Wolves. And yeah, Moisey. I hope he doesn't slip out of the top 4 because I'd like to see him get ahead of United.
I would love the top 4 to be as it is now. I'd love West Ham to get in there. Yeah, look at it's a good performance again from Wolves. Wolves have been under the radar though. Wolves are going good. Is this Bruno Lage? Is it
Bruno Lage? Yes.
They're going under the radar and like
they're
doing very, very well. I think they have the 3rd most points in the last 8 games or something like that. Like that's how well they're doing. So yeah, I'm delighted for Wolves. I have Hwang in the team in the fancy football. He's going good for me. So yeah, I'm happy for Wolves. Connor Cody was on Match of the Day last night and he spoke very well. I love you, Hwang. We move on to the half 5.
You're taking this game. Liverpool versus Arsenal. Early on Saturday morning, as he was on to me on Messenger, and he was like, "Oh, I'm fearing the worst. against
I
Arsenal.
had a feeling, man.
And I was sort of thinking, it's only Arsenal. And you said at the end, it's only Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, man. I had a feeling just based off the West Ham performance in particular was very flat. Like, and we looked tired. And I did think the international break kind of came at a perfect time to kind of refuel the batteries, recharge. But I have written here, Arsenal are back. Because that was so derivative of an old Arsenal performance. And what I mean by that is, last season when they came to Anfield, it was much the same. Kind of lazy and laboured. And as I said, the press was good for the most part at the start. They looked alright. But then it was just like, our quality just came through. And the fear I had was that we wouldn't have that quality in the game on that particular day, like against West Ham. But we did. Salah played the game at his own pace. He kept again. I keep using the boxing analogies for some reason, but he kept Tavares at arm's length. Tavares started the game off alright, but as the game went on, he just took control over him, and he just kind of ran the game. A big shout out to Mikel Arteta for firing up the Liverpool crowd, because the game was a bit of a dead rubber up until he started going on the mad one. You know what I mean? Obviously, ex-Evertonian captain. He's never done well at Anfield, so he's not used to winning there. But he literally, like, he lost the head, right? And it's a genuine thank you, because before that, like, Arsenal's press was good, as I keep saying. Thanks, Mikel, because you fired up the Anfield crowd, you fired up the players as if they needed it. And look at, he done Liverpool well there, so thank you. But there was big vibes off it, big smoking area vibes at like 3 o'clock in the morning of, he's not worth it, Mikel. He's not worth it. Jurgen Klopp would batter Mikel Arteta.
Klopp is a wind-up merchant. He's a wind-up merchant.
Did you see when Mane scored? He was cupping the ears as well.
Harry Maguire stuff.
Oh, God. But there's actually, just before we talk about the goals, there's videos of Arsenal's warm-up. Of their like shooting practice, and they couldn't score. Like, there was about 2 minutes straight of just hitting a wide and over the bar and hitting the post and all. And the caption on the tweet was, "The game was over before it began." They couldn't score. But I mean, it was a really. I'm delighted with the performance, and you know what I mean. It's very easy to be here jovial, but when we play well, we make it look so good, and we make it look. I keep saying the word easy because the goals were so easy. Like, you talk about Mane's goal, cross in from Trent, Mane heads it in, and it sounds so simple, but it was. It was literally that easy. Go on.
I was a big fan of Jota's goal as well.
I was just about to say it there. So, Jota's goal, Tavares makes a mistake, and I think this is when his head was kind of gone. And Jota, man, sends Ben White back to Leeds, and he sends Ramsdale back to Bournemouth relegation party, because he just sent him. He was as cool as a cucumber in the fucking freezer. He was unbelievable. He was unbelievable for the goal.
In the freezer.
He was unbelievable for the goal. And like, even Salah's goal. And actually,
that was my favourite goal.
I was really impressed with Jota here as well, because I don't know how he didn't get whiplash from what he done. So the ball it's Alisson out to Tamikis. Tamikis heads it into Jota. And when I say Jota loafs this, Jota puts his soul into this ball, into Mane. Mane just runs off and squares it to Salah. And again, so easy. I'm delighted for Minamino as well to get on and get the goal, because, and to be fair, just touch on Chamberlain real quick as well. He was very good defensively. His press was very good the weekend. And we get some sticks sometimes. There's no squad depth or whatever. But for Minamino to score, you know, Origi's had a good season as well. Like, this is it's good for the Liverpool squad, is what I'm saying. Tyler Morton get a Premier League debut as well. Very promising player.
When you said Tyler Morton, I thought of Horton. Here's a Who. What a film. And just a word on Arsenal.
Yeah.
All I could say is, you know, whenever they come up against the big team, they show up with the same mirror image performance as they do for the last 10 or 15 years. It's like,
it's gutless.
Just fold against the big teams.
Yeah.
Like, wake up and smell the coffee. You need a new manager, mate.
You think?
I think they do.
You don't think Arteta's the answer?
Arteta, look, the sign of a bad manager is there's no fight when they go 1-0 down. They lose by more.
The heads drop,
4-0.
Yeah.
You know, that's not good enough. The Everton.
The Everton.
What a shit performance. Sorry. It was 3-0 to City. Alright. I checked it on live score at one point. Everton had like 11% possession in the first half.
Shocking. Yeah, so the game of Cole Palmer versus Anthony Gordon, Man City versus Everton. Two young players, two very good young English players. The stark difference between the two is literally the quality that they're playing with. So Anthony Gordon's very good, but he's playing with bums. Cole Palmer's very good, and he's playing with one of the best teams in the world. So their performances are stark. They're very similar, but the way they play, they're very similar. But the game was a dead rubber, man. The game was awful up until the 40th minute, and Iwobi gets past Walker. Right, it was a good ball by Gordon actually, and Iwobi gets past Walker, and he looks back, see who's running after him, and he sees it's Walker, and he goes, "Oh fuck, he's gonna catch me!" So he just stops running, and then Sterling dived. Surprise. And in fairness to Sterling, he scored in the 44th minute. Cancelo's ball.
Oh my god.
outside the right foot. This is the goal I was talking about earlier about goal of the week. I think that's an unbelievable assist.
Yeah.
Unbelievable from Cancelo. And it really is the year of the fullback, isn't it? When you think fullbacks have become the new...
Reece James,
Chilwell, Trent. Trent has 9 assists in his last 6 games. That's unbelievable. Even James scoring goals. Chilwell's been great. Cancelo. And there was a point just before half time that Laporte smashed up Andros Townsend, and I think he got a card for it. And as they were walking off at half time, he's looking at every referee. He's like, well, "What the fuck, ref? Why'd you book me?" He literally gave him a drop kick. You know what I mean? Took him out. Yeah, I have written here, Delph's career at the Etihad summed up. He just had an absolute air shot, and the whole crowd went, "Yeah!" They just erupted, and I was howling at it. But Michael Keane is just awful. He gave away a surefire penalty on Bernardo, and the referee went, no, that's not a penalty. It was it's clear as day. It was a penalty all day. And then you had Rodri's rocket. That's what.
Oh yeah,
what a goal! And I know I slag him every now and then. I know I slag Pickford a lot, but if Jordan Pickford had longer arms, he saves that. He does. It's a great hit. Don't get me wrong.
It would have broke his arms.
It would have broke his arms. But he has short arms, so it doesn't make any difference. But everything kind of done all right then. And this was another funny bit. So they had a good build up for 5 minutes. Anyways, Gordon gives it to Rondon to Townsend to Iwobi. And when the build up, it's like in rugby in the phases. And it's a goal's coming. And this is what it was like for everything. It was build up. So Townsend gets it to Iwobi, and Iwobi crosses it. And Richarlison, he's in space. He can score. He's gonna score. And he goes for a bicycle kick, and he just completely misses it. And you're like, "What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? You could have scored." And he didn't, obviously. And some young fella came on for City then, called McAteer, I think. What's his name?
Pep was just taking the piss, was he?
Man, this is crazy, right? So you have Phil Foden, you have Cole Palmer, and you have this, I think it's McIntyre. They're all like clones of David Silva. Every single one of them, they're so good on the ball, so comfortable on the ball, left footed. Gary Neville said the same thing. He was like, they're like clones. And it was actually hilarious. That's a much better one compared to earlier. Yes. But yeah, and Sterling could have scored a sweaty goal. He didn't. Silva made a 3-0. Good play by Palmer. And that's the Everton for you. Keane was hopeless and Pickford was awful for that goal as well. But that's Everton versus Man City in a nutshell.
Wow.
The last game of the weekend.
Leeds against Spurs. Spurs win 2-1. Dan James scores for Leeds. That's the headline. Dan James scored a goal. Fair play to him. And
great assist by Harrison, by the way.
Good assist, yeah.
I like Harrison a lot. He's a good player.
So anyway, it reaches half time, okay? Spurs are 1-0 down at home. New manager, Antonio Conte. The Spurs fans start booing him, lads.
Such an entitled bunch.
What the fuck,
I mean, fair enough booing Nuno, because I can get the football's awful or whatever, but give Conte the respect he deserves. I don't know if there's a more entitled bunch of fans than Spurs. A club who are absolutely showered in irrelevancy the past few years. They've won nothing. Won absolutely nothing. They threw away a great chance with Pochettino to really build on something. They fucked him out. And now they're booing. Every time they go down, they're booing. Because they think it's going to get better. That's not how football works like. Now, in fairness, they did come back in the end. But that's not because they booed. It's because Conte is a good manager and the players are good. And instead of booing them, maybe support them a bit better.
2 awful goals as well, by the way.
Yeah.
It was Højbjerg and the keeper is off the line for some reason.
The second goal is really bad.
The second goal is Eric Dyer. Dyer by name, Dyer by nature.
We love to try that in. It was Reguilon that got the goal in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it hits the wall and it takes the wickedest deflection. And to be fair to Reguilon, he's on his feet and he gets there first. So he does does well in that sense. But yeah, 2-1 win for Spurs. Nothing to worry home about. You know, they're still 10th or whatever the fuck they are. Like,
Yeah.
and we'll see if they make a charge for top 4.
We'll move on. Your God of the Week.
My God of the Week. I haven't written down. Oh yeah, I'm going to give it to Gilmour for Norwich.
Yeah.
I think his performance was commanding. Something that we seen at Chelsea. There was at one stage where he flicked it over about 3 people's heads and controlled it and then passed it off to Pookie.
Yeah.
And then he made the assist for the goal.
I'm going to give my God of the Week this week to Diogo Jota for absolutely destroying Aaron Ramsdale.
Goal of the week.
Cornet. Without Cornet, it's between Cornet and Sterling for Cancelo's pass, but I'll give it to Cornet.
I'm actually going to give it to Sam Maximan.
Oh yes,
I loved the equaliser and I loved the backflip and the celebration. So I'm going to give it to him.
And we will move on now. I think we should drop the kind of intro to God of the Week. I think we should just do it.
What intro?
No, we'd be like.
But Azzy.
What?
I was eating dinner last.
This fella Ronaldo is a cod.
And our God of the Week this week is... I think he's a second-time offender. Harry Maguire.
Otherwise known as Slabhead.
Slabhead.
Slabby Slab.
We talked about him earlier. But how poor? How poor, like, for a captain as well.
Yeah. A scissors tackle.
Yeah.
In, on top of the ball. On top of your man's legs as well. What was he doing?
Could have been dangerous,
He
actually.
folded him.
Yeah.
He literally folded him.
Yeah.
And a former United player and everything, Tom Cleverley.
And he turned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. See you later, Ollie. Thanks for the memories. So, do you want to kick us off with the Hall of Fame, Cran?
My Hall of Fame this week comes from Serie A. I've given it to Leonardo Bonucci, the penalty merchant.
He scored a penalty, did he?
He scored 2 penalties.
What?
So,
no way.
I'll give you the story. They're playing Lazio away.
Okay.
Sarri's Lazio, by the way. I was watching the highlights. It was end up 2-0, but Chiesa goes past Pepe Reina, okay? And he's in the box, he's running to score, like, and he goes to shoot, and Pepe Reina just folds him from behind for one of the penalties. He literally takes out, like, he could have ended his career, like.
Yeah.
He takes out Chiesa, and Bonucci scored anyway, and he scored another one. He scored 2 penalties, and all the comments underneath the YouTube video are like, "Oh, Leonardo Bonucci should be taking them for the Azzurri because Jorginho missed one to send them through to the World Cup." Yeah. 2 quality penalties.
Yeah, good show.
You know, a centre back taking penalties. It's a bit different.
It's novelty. It's a novel.
Yeah.
So my Hall of Fame this week is actually a goal as well. So I have Cole Stockton's 94th minute winner from Morecambe against Fleetwood. Basically, it's a shot from the halfway line. The limbs in the away end were unbelievable. I'll show you the goal now. I'll get a live reaction to it. I'll hurry it up. Here it is now. Out to the halfway line. Gets a turn on it. Now bam. What a goal. Great limbs. Great sins.
Oh my god.
He's some unit as well, isn't he? He looks a bit like a fucking... like an Aldi Ben Brereton.
I was about to say the same
thing. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my Hall of Fame this week. I'll throw it in the post as well.
A Ben Brereton clown.
Yeah.
Gets the Hall of
We
Fame.
love Ben. Shout out to our listeners in O'Higgins of... the O'Higgins region of Chile as well, by the way. How are we doing that?
And funny enough, your man who that region is named of, he was a coloniser of Chile. Okay. He's half Chilean and half Irish. O'Higgins.
What?
Yeah. That's why that...
No way.
That's why that region is named O'Higgins.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
How have we went from talking about the Hall of Fame to an Irish region, Chile? Will we move on now? Have you got your treasure?
Yeah, I have Euro treasure first, alright.
Okay, go for it.
Union Saint Gilles.
What in the name of Jesus?
I was going real niche with this, alright.
I appreciate it.
This is a Belgian A-League team, okay? I'm going to give you a bit of background. So they won 7-1 away from home against Oostende. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of these right.
Show me the limbs.
So, fun fact is, okay, they were promoted last year.
Okay.
From the Pro B League in Belgium, 2020-2021. They were promoted. This year, they are now 7 points clear at the top of the Belgian A League.
Jeez.
Anderlecht do not have a sniff. Vincent Kompany's Anderlecht, by the way.
Oh, I got delighted.
And Cullen as well plays for Anderlecht.
Colsey.
But they're 7 points clear, okay? I did a bit of research on them. Tony Bloom, Brighton's owner, is the majority shareholder.
No way.
So he owns them. They're top of the league. He owns Brighton as well, who are doing well.
I'm just looking at their squad now. They have an English fella playing at the back. Yeah, good, great show. I'm delighted now you went niche with that.
Yeah.
Because mine was like Fiat 500. I just went with Messi's goal against Nantes.
I love how you pronounce that.
It's a great. Did you see the goal?
Oh, I didn't know.
No, it was a typical Messi goal. Like if you were thinking of a typical Messi goal, I hope he really kicks on now. To be honest, because he's found it tough. He's been good in the Champions League. He's been very good in the Champions League, but he's struggled a bit in League A so far. But yeah, Messi's first goal against Nantes. You're trash.
Andy, I just seen your note on this. Okay, I'm not lying to you now.
Oh, you have the same thing.
I have the same Euro trash.
No way.
We just read it out together.
Oh my god, man, you do. Yeah. That is so weird. That is genuinely strange.
Our minds are telepathical.
So basically, our Euro trash this week is Feyenoord smashing Pex Volle 4-0. And the reason why it's in our Euro trash is because we weren't there. And we were supposed to be in Amsterdam. We'd still be there now, which is heartbreaking. We'd probably be doing the podcast now as well, over there.
I can't believe we've chosen the same. Like, this isn't staged or anything. We've legitimately just...
No, we never talked about this. We talked about the match, but we never talked about Euro trash or anything like that. That's mad. That's a wholesome Euro trash this week. R.I.P. Amsterdam. We'll be there in January.
We move on now.
Yes, to get it out. Get it out this week, of course, because it's the Champions League. We will be talking about
the Champions League.
No way. To keep score last time on the last episode, it was 12-all before the week's fixtures. In predictions for us, Cran got 8 right in the last set of fixtures. I got 12 right, so we now stand at Adzi 24 and Cran 20. That was really weird, referring to myself in the third person. I'm not the Guinness Guru.
Really good shtick off that.
Oh, stop.
In
fairness, by the way, fair play to him. If I could go around reviewing Guinness, I absolutely would.
Someone DM him there and get him on the podcast.
Could you imagine? It'd probably be a good laugh, to be fair. Group E, the first game of the day is Dynamo Kiev of Ukraine, isn't it? Against Bayern Munich. Cran, who are you going for?
It's quite straightforward. Bayern Munich steamrolled them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day of the week.
I think Bayern lost at the weekend as well, though. So they'll still win. I mean, it's not a big deal. They will beat Kiev. Well, it's just worth bearing in mind that they lost. Group E also has Barcelona against Benfica.
It's actually going to be a good game, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd imagine it will.
It was 3-1 last time to Benfica, I believe, at home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a draw there.
Yeah, I'm going to go... I think Barcelona will win because the new manager bounce is usually good. But
Jabby.
Yeah, what I will say is, for anyone listening, keep an eye out for Grimaldo with Benfica. Good Spanish left back. He's a bit of a wing back. Very good player, so just keep an eye on him. We have Group F now, Villarreal of Spain, taking on not Ollie's United, Manchester United.
Oh God,
all gone.
You're after bringing a tear to me eye.
A tear to the football and world's eye. But yeah, Villarreal against Manchester United. Cran, who are you going for?
I'm going for Carrick Ball, ladsy.
Oh God,
I reckon it's going to be a Man United win.
There must be some in that bacon brew coffee because I'm going with Villarreal to beat Man United. And the reason I'm going with it is because the Spanish left back name Alberto Moreno, he's gonna put Man United to the sword and he's gonna murder Carrick Ball before it's even let to live. Yeah, I'm gonna go Villarreal. Next up in that group is Young Boys versus Atalanta. My boys Atalanta. I'll kick it off. I'll kick us off. I'm gonna go with Atalanta.
Your boys against the Young Boys. I'm gonna go for an Atlanta win as well.
We have the group of irrelevancy, Group G, which is literally the furthest from a G. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Group G, we have Lille against Salzburg. Cran, who are you going for, and why don't you care?
A little bit of Monica in my life. I'm going for Lille, ladsy.
I'm gonna go Lille as well because they have a player up front, Canadian international John David.
John, yeah, I know him well.
Yeah, he's lives around the corner. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lille as well. To make this group even worse, we have Sevilla against Wolfsburg. Cran, who are you going for?
I'm hungry like the wolf, baby. I'm going for Wolfsburg.
A bit of Duran of a Monday morning. Jeez,
it's the coffee, Edsy.
It is the coffee. I'm gonna go with Sevilla. I'm telling you now. I think the Spaniards are gonna have a good week this week. I'm gonna go with Sevilla to beat Wolfsburg. Group H, we have your boys Chelsea against Juventus. Cran, who are you going for and why?
A little side note, Edsy. This is a very important game. If Juventus win this game and Zenit win, then it all goes down to Zenit away. So,
but if Juventus win and Zenit win, there's still a 3-point gap.
Yeah, but we're playing Zenit on the last day.
Yeah.
It all comes down to that game and Zenit away. If they win that, they go through ahead of us.
Well.
But I'm going to go for a draw here because I think it is going to be a very tight game.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with Chelsea because I think Juventus are all but true, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Juventus are true. Chelsea win. We'll go with Malmo against Zenit now. Cran, who are you going for and why?
Zenit. I have this urgent feeling that it's going to go down to that last game in St. Petersburg.
Yeah. Well, could do. Definitely could do. Yeah. I'm going to go with Malmo because I prefer ABBA, as I've said on the podcast before.
Fuck's sake.
We have, on Wednesday, we have Group A. So we have Club Brugge against RB Leipzig. Cran, who are you going for and why?
I'm going to go with Leipzig.
Yep, I'll go with... I'm 4 points clear. I'm going to go Bruges for the crack. Man City and PSG.
Oh, I'm 4 points clear.
Says the man who keeps saying Chelsea are top of the league. Just so you know.
I'm going to go with City win.
Messi has a good record against City as well, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they won the last game.
Yeah, I'll go with score draw. I can't speak today. I will go with a score draw. Genie Macman. Group B, we have Atletico Madrid against AC Milan. Cran, who are you going for and why?
AC Milan, Cran.
AC Milan, yeah.
Atleti.
Yeah, I think Atletico as well. We have Liverpool against Porto next. Cran, who are you going for? The pool. Yeah, do you know what? I think the team on look at that injury list as well. Christ. I think the team on Wednesday, I think Tyler Morton's going to play on Wednesday. I'd say Neco Williams will play. I think there'll be a lot of changes in the team. So I'd still fancy us against Porto in general.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Liverpool as well. We have Group C, the big game, 6:15 kick-off, which is actually good. I'll watch that. I'll sit down and watch Ajax. Besiktas at home to Ajax. Cran, who are you going for?
Well, I don't think Ajax are going to bring many of their starters over because they're top the group already, haven't they? So I think I'm going to go... Fuck it, I'll go for Besiktas.
I'll go with Ajax. I'll stick by the lads.
Yeah.
Sporting then against Dortmund at 8 o'clock. Sporting at home here. Cran, what do you think?
I'm going for a Sporting win.
I think it's a good shout. I'm just looking at Dortmund's injury list there. I'll probably go with Sporting myself. I think at home they could be very good. Group D, the last group, we have Inter at home to Shakhtar Donetsk at 5:45. It's a nice kick off. Cran, who are you going for?
Inter, baby.
Oh,
they're in great form.
Yeah,
I think they beat Napoli at the weekend. So
yeah,
Inter.
They're playing very well. They beat Napoli 3-2. That's a big scalp because Napoli have been quite untouchable. That's their first loss this season. So yeah, I'll go with Inter myself there. And the last game, FC Sheriff of Moldova against Real Madrid. Sheriff at home here. Sheriff, of course, beat Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. So they could be in good stead here to win. They're on 6 points. They're 3 points off Real now. That's actually a nice little tasty group. You know that?
I think this might go down to the wire, Addy.
Yeah, I think it will.
I think I'm going to go for Sheriff because Sheriff win. They go above Real.
Yeah.
Because they're head to head.
Well, yeah, they could do. Yeah, I'm going to go with a score draw.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's our Champions League predictions, everybody. There's a Europa League game on. Will we predict that real quick?
Fuck it, yeah.
Spartak against Napoli. Napoli will win that.
I'm going for an Aiden McGeady last minute winner. He's still playing imagine he's still playing for Spartak.
On loan from Sunderland. And that was Get It Out, everybody. Get your Champions League predictions into us if you want to be involved, we'll listen to them.
Yeah,
We'll definitely we'll chat away to you.
I suppose that's it, isn't it?
That's it. What another breathtakingly good podcast.
But I hope you enjoyed, everyone. Thanks for listening. Very quickly, Adzi, I want to ask you. Bake Off finals on tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
We discussed the Bake Off last week. Who's going to win the Bake Off?
Christelle.
Christelle.
Yeah.
I'm going for Giuseppe.
Oh, you think the Italians are going to take it home again?
The Italian stallion.
Yeah, could be a show. Could be. I'm going with Christelle though.
Anyways, hope you enjoyed, everyone. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
If you're new, please follow all our socials. Follow the Spotify and follow the Instagram, Twitter, TikTok now as well,
and YouTube.
YouTube as well. Yeah. Great crack. Altogether.
Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. Thanks everyone for the love and support, and we will see you all soon. We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.